Hey Sunshines, this is Marisol from A Little Bit of Soul. I was out here starting to harden off my little seedlings, and I also am going to be starting to be potting up some dahlias as well as potting up some of my blueberry plants, and I thought I would bring you guys along. So let's get started. So I just thought I'd give you a short little update on how my little seedlings are doing. These are the seedlings that I am starting to harden off. These are my snapdragons right there, and then these are my carnations that I'm going to be putting out. And then right here, look at my sweet little Lysianthus. Look at them, they're doing so good. And that's my one and only straw flower, which is the red copper. Look how big she is. She's definitely loving her conditions. I put her outside for like 15 minutes and she did not like it at all. So I gave her a little bit of water and brought her back inside. Here are my Lysianthus. They're doing amazing, and these are going to be going outside sometime next week. And more snapdragons right here. And these are a little bit stressed as well because they did not like being outside in the full sun. So that's an update that I wanted to show you about the little seedlings that I am hardening off right now. These are some Brabascans that I grew last year that I never got a chance to plant outside, and I just brought them inside and left them in my unheated breezeway, and they just stood there. I didn't know what was going to happen, but every so often I would give it a little bit of water, and look at them, they're shooting out new growth. That's new growth right there, and I just put them outside and we'll see how they do. I'm going to plant them out and see what happens. And then plant it right here. And this is the blueberries and raspberry plants that I'm going to be potting up, as well as the dahlia tubers that I pre-sprouted like a month or so ago. I was going to do this experiment that Soils and Margarita was going to do by trying to see about making more plants, but they were so slow to come up that I decided I'll just try and do that next year and start them a little bit earlier so that I'm able to just pick, right here, just take this entire stem and just reroot them. But I'll do that next year, and I'm just gonna go ahead and pot these up today. All right, so the first plant that I'm gonna be potting up is the raspberry, and this one is called raspberry shortcake, and this one gets to be about 2 to 3 feet tall and wide, and it says that it's a mounding raspberry, and then it also says that it needs about 800 hours of chill time. And this one is for zones 4 through 9. And water needs, I like it because it provides a lot of information. Water needs, it says it needs moderate water, it needs full sun, and then it also gives you the berry size, which is medium, and then the berry flavor is sweet vanilla essence. And then also right here, it also gives you like the growing care and notes, and it says it needs a neutral soil with good drainage, which that's what I'm going to be using. And then it says fertilize with a balanced fertilizer in early spring. I'm going to put a little bit of plant tone in the soil so that it gets a little bit of a start. And then it says only to prune dead canes with no new growth. And it says pruning new canes can affect fruiting, so don't prune it, only prune the dead stuff. And this plant is self-pollinating, so it doesn't need another pollinator. And then it says this plant will bear fruit in 18 months. So this year it won't do anything for me. Maybe it might give me a few strawberries, but the second year is when it's going to give me some berry production. Okay, and so when I took it out of the little box, this is what it came in. And then I'm just gonna open the bag that way. When I got this raspberry plant, it was in dormancy. It had not leafed out, but look how much it's leafed out already. That's amazing. And so it comes like this. Look at the roots on that. Oh my goodness. Wow. Hopefully it wasn't in the bag too long, but we'll see. Hopefully it doesn't get too shocked. Okay, over there. Okay. This is like leftover soil that I had when I was doing my seeds. I'm still sowing some seeds, but not that many. And then I think what I'm gonna do actually, just put a little bit in, and then this soil already has a little bit of fertilizer in it. I'm not gonna put any fertilizer in it right now. I know I said I was, but I'm not going to, just because I don't really want to shock this plant more than it is gonna be right now. If it's a little windy, I'm sorry, you guys. I mean, it's so pretty outside. I just had to come out here, and it feels so good to finally be outside doing some garden work. Not the best camera angle, but okay, it'll work, I guess. Okay. Alrighty, this is the first one that I'm gonna be doing right there. I always try to save these canisters just because they're so convenient, and I don't have to buy any other ones, and I can just keep a little stack of them. Works perfect. All right, so then the second one that I'm going to be doing is called Berry Bucks, and this one is also 2 to 3 feet tall and wide, and it has a bushy mount. And the reason why I got these was because they kind of reminded me of boxwoods. And so I don't have a lot of experience growing boxwoods, so I figured I would give these a try and see if I like the way it looked in my yard. And if I like the way it looks in my yard, then I'll start putting some in my yard. But see, it says Berry Bucks looks like a boxwood, but has the bonus of blueberries. And these are going to be going in my veggie garden. And so, like I said, it gets to be 2 to 3 feet wide, long, tall and wide. And then this one says 600 hours of chill time, and it's for zones 5 through 8. And then water, the same thing, moderate, and it needs full sun. And then the berry size is small, and then the berry flavor is wild aromatic. And so this one says that it needs acidic soil, pH balance of 4.5 to 5.5, which is why I'm going to be adding some soil acidifier to it. And the same thing, fertilizing early spring with a granular or liquid acid fertilizer. And then after harvest, I prune out fruit bearing branches, leaving new branches to fruit the following year. So I prune out the ones that gave me the fruit this year. I'll prune them next year. And also this plant is self-pollinating, and again, it'll give me fruit in 18 months. But I got 2 of these, even though they're self-pollinating. Okay, so then the next one that I got them right here next to me, is called Jelly Bean. And not only that, but you can also put them in containers if you don't have a lot of room, but you still want some blueberries in your yard. You can put these in containers because they're small enough. This one is even smaller than the other 2. And this one gets to be 1 to 2 feet tall and wide, and the same condition. This one needs about 1,000 hours of chill time, and this one is for zones 4 through 8, and it's the same kind of conditions as the other ones. When I got these, like I said, I got these that were still in dormant state. This one actually broke dormancy while in my windowsill, which is why I'm potting them up right now. And then these other two came with the leaves like that, but if you notice, new leaves are coming in, and so I don't want them to get more stressed than they are right now, and that's why I'm potting them up right now. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. Okay, so I'm gonna get some Spoma soil acidifier, and of course it's backwards because, you know, why not? But whatever. But I use the Spoma soil acidifier, and that's what I'm going to be using for this. And then what I'm going to do is grab a little bit, just put it. I got these at Lowe's for a really good deal because they were broken bags, and so the manager gave them to me for a really good deal. Put a little bit in there. Not gonna go too crazy with it just because this is only gonna be a temporary thing until I get my veggie garden situated, and that's where they're gonna go, like I said. Okay, and again, they came in this little bag. They came in this little bag right here, and then I'm just gonna pull this out. It's like it's exactly like what it is. It's a plug. See? That's what it looks like. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna backfill it with the soil it came in. Right there, and just put more of my soil. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. And basically what I'm doing is just pushing off some of the soil so it's not too much in where the crown is of the plant, and then adding it down. And this one was I don't want to get them confused because I haven't written the labels for them just yet. So this one is the next one. Again, a little bit of soil acidifier. I use everything Spoma just because it's made for organic gardening, and I've had really good results with using Spoma, so that's why I use it. If you notice, the plants are like the leaves are red. It's just because they haven't been exposed too much to the sun, and in the fall this is pretty much the color that their leaves are going to turn in the fall. But right now it's because their leaves weren't exposed to the sun, and that's why it's like that. All right, this is berry box. It's just crazy how it looks. Like, this is pretty much the whole root, and it's just encased in there. I was watering it, but not that much, just because I didn't want it to come out of dormancy too fast. But since we've been experiencing they've been out like in my unheated breezeway, and they've been coming out of dormancy on their own, so I'm pretty confident now that I'll just put them in these pots and have them grow on and not be so cramped and stressed in these little bags, even though the bags are still wet. I am like looking forward to getting some berries, even if it's just a couple of them. Give me a little taste of what they're gonna be producing next year. I'm really excited. The thing that I really like made me want to buy these is because they're self-pollinating, so you technically don't need another one to produce berries, and also that it stays compact, and it'll be good for my veggie garden, just because my veggie garden, I mean, it's pretty big, but I want to make sure that I can grow a lot of things in it, so I don't want stuff that's going to take a lot of room. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna water these in, and I'm gonna leave them outside. They weren't outside, but like I said, they were in my unheated breezeway, so they're already acclimated to the weather that we're having right now. So I'm pretty confident in leaving them outside without anything happening to them. And pretty much this is where they're gonna stay, right here in my front porch. And I'm gonna be keeping an eye on them just to make sure that they're doing okay and they don't get too stressed out. So this is where they're gonna stay until I'm ready to plant them in my veggie garden. As you can see, it is the next day. I had to stop what I was doing because it was getting kind of late and I needed to start dinner. So that's why I decided to do it the next day. But the next thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be potting up my dahlias. Okay, so the variety that I'm going to be doing is called Pastel Mix. And I'm really hoping that I'm going to get this one right here. I hope, because I haven't had any dinner plate dahlias before, and I would like to see how they look in person. I've only just seen pictures of them, so I'm hoping to get at least this one right here. I mean, they're all very pretty, but I'm really hoping to get this one. Okay, so then right here I'll show you what I did. What I did was it came with 3 bulbs with 3 tubers. And I noticed that one of them had an extra one. I went ahead and separated it, and this is which one it is. So I'm hoping this one is the one that is that big dinner plate dahlia. And you see right there, it already has a growth point. I just want to show you what the tubers look like. These have been in here now for about a month, maybe a month and a half. I think it's a little bit longer than that, but I'm not really sure. I think it was in end of February when I pre-sprouted these. I just haven't had a chance to put them in soil, but since the temperatures are coming up right now, and nighttime temperatures right now are in the 50s, I decided to just pot them up, and then if the nighttime temperatures dip during the night, then I'll just bring them inside. So there's that one. And then this one also, see, this one also has a little sproutling coming up. And this is how they look when you get them in the store. So out of all of that, this is the only one that produced a bud, I guess. And then this one right here as well, stuck, so you can tell. Again, only one. And then this one is the one that's a little iffy. I don't really think this is viable. It's getting a little like pruny. This one's getting a little hard, actually. I'm gonna plant them out anyway and see what happens. But I don't think any of these are viable, just because I don't see any eyes on them. You should be able to see at least one eye, and I don't see any on these. So these won't do anything. But like I said, you never know. So I'm going to still plant it out. Plant it out and see what happens. It might surprise me. Who knows? So I first started out with my Pro Mix soil, and I wetted just a little bit. Just because whenever you plant dahlia tubers, you don't really want to give them any water until you see them sprout. But because I already have sprouts on these, I went ahead and wetted just a little bit, just enough so that the soil wasn't extremely dry. Up about halfway. And then I'm going to take the big one, the one that has like the big sprout. Wait till you guys see this. This is crazy. This one's not viable. Look at that. That's crazy. Isn't that amazing? Wow. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and bury this one same way and put it in there. And I am gonna bury this just a little bit, just so only the end of it shows. If I really want, I can wait until the plant gets a little bit bigger, and I can still chop it off at like here, maybe here, or maybe when it grows a little bit taller, I can still chop it off and try and reroot that as well, because dahlias do reroot pretty easily from its cuttings. So this one's done. And then same thing. And like I said, I always reuse these canisters because they come in handy. Especially the proven winner ones. They're the quality. They're good quality. It's been a while since I had dahlias from tubers. I normally just grow them from seed because they're so easy to grow from seed. And since, you know, I can grow them so easily from seed, I don't really have to dig them back up. But last year I did an experiment where I brought one of my containers that I had, a dahlia that I grew from seed. I brought it inside. I waited until all the foliage died back, and then I cut it, and then I took it inside and put it in like a dark closet and left it there until like maybe like end of February. You know, I didn't really see any kind of growth, but I decided to see what happens. And so I took it out, I put it to the sun, and I didn't give it any water because, like I said, you don't really want to give water to dahlias until you see them sprout. And in March, I started seeing little shoots. So I got that dahlia to come back for me. So this year, I'm gonna try and do that again this year. Just dig them up and put them in canisters and just put them in the back of my one of my closets and just leave them there until next year. Alrighty. So I went and covered this one, and I covered it. She'll be fine. So there it is, 4 of them right there, and hopefully that one pops up. All right, and here is the dahlia that I grew from seed. This dahlia is called a Redskin Dahlia, and it has really pretty cream and pink, kind of like an apple blossom bloom colors, and then it turns into a pretty yellow color. And so this is like an instant container. I had some clippings from a couple of coleus that I was overwintering, and so I put those in there. And then these little things, I don't really know what they are, but they had a really pretty flower. I forget what they were called, but it's a really pretty flower, really pretty pink purple flower. And so I just decided to pop it in there, and they're just growing. And then today I noticed that there's a shoot right here, which I don't know what that is, so we're gonna find out together what it is. Sometimes it's fun to plant things like that you don't remember planting, and then you once it comes up and you see a bloom, it's always a nice surprise. And that's all there is to planting up some dahlia tubers. And so what I'm hoping is that they'll sprout for me, and then once it's safe to plant outside, I'll be able to plant them outside, and I'll show you how they look when they bloom. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good one. Bye.